All right, welcome to Help Desk with Joe. This is show number 35. You're joining us live on Facebook. We're happy to have you. And it's a Tuesday here in Spencer, West Virginia at the Patch offices. And we're excited. So we're going to go live here on our radio podcast. I said radio, but on our podcast, which will then be put on all the good places online for podcasting. So let me get my sheet. And we'll get ready to roll. This is David with Patch Turned Up Studio here in Spencer, West Virginia. You're listening to Help Desk with Joe and our host, Joe McDonald. This is episode 35 of our podcast series. Make sure to tune in for more podcasts, information, and music. We look forward to a good show. So, Joe, welcome.
Thanks for having me. We're back.
We're back. This is a Tuesday, so we had to switch up our days a little bit due to the schedule. But not too bad. And
yeah, last week was just kind of a crazy week. It was supposed to be the standard West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. And of course, COVID nixed that in a hurry.
Yeah.
But Dave, I don't know about your week, but my week seemed just as crazy as it was just regular Black Walnut Festival. Life is normal.
Yeah, and we had some interesting stuff happen. They still had the livestock sale and show. And we had Michaela and Caitlin, two of our patch workers. They videoed, and then we loaded them up to the computer, and you're putting them on our YouTube channel, and then we'll float those out on our Facebook. So we still had a kind of Black Walnut Festival-esque deal.
Yeah, it was. Hats off to the community. I mean, The community always steps up, and when situations like this arise, the community always steps up to say, well, let's see how we can fix this. And, a lot of the local business, local eateries, stepped up and said, well, let's try to bring some of the Black Walnut food favorites in. So they actually did, and I think that went pretty well.
Yeah, it was nice to see, and I know Zach posted a bunch of our old Facebook posts with our Kids Day Parade information and some of our live broadcasts of the main parade.
Right.
Just so people could reminisce a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's one of those kind of in a world where everything has turned upside down, at least there was still just a small flicker of the West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. That town wasn't crazy, but which was kind of weird because I went to town. I had to go into town one day, and I had to go park down by the courthouse, and it was really weird because it was like Tuesday afternoon, and typically, you can't even touch that part of town, so it was really weird Tuesday afternoon of Black Walnut Week that I can park right by the courthouse.
Right downtown.
Yeah.
With absence of funnel cakes. That's always the first thing to open there downtown at the courthouse is the funnel cake person.
Right.
And trailer. And the city guys always do such a good job setting up and taking that Court Street and the street behind it and setting it up for food and all that good stuff. So
yeah, that's the craziest thing. I mean, it's like They show up on Monday and everything starts rolling.
Yeah.
And then come Sunday evening at 7 o'clock, you go into town and you can't even tell anything that went on.
I always let Rob Miller know, our city manager, that, hey, your guys do a fantastic job. When I come to work on Monday morning, it's as if there was never a 40,000 person parade and event that happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it.
No.
Everything's clean, streets are clean, everything's put away. It's amazing.
Yeah, so I think one of the silver linings come out of this, they always do it around Columbus Day weekend, so they give the city crews a much well-deserved break on Monday. So at least this year they got to actually enjoy the break the entire weekend and didn't have to just drag in on Monday.
We still had the Black Walnut weather, though.
Yes.
Some good days, some rainy days.
Yeah, it's either really hot or it's rainy and nasty.
So we still had that. But anyway, on to Help Desk with Joe. You're famous for helping out people, not only general consumers, but also businesses and so forth. And in our case, Patch, a nonprofit. But today, you're going to talk a little bit about some updates. So let's talk about Apple.
Yeah, I had to switch my screens real quick.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of Prime Day, so sorry about
Prime Day. Yeah, you're shopping. I know what's going on. Does Cena know you're shopping?
Oh, yeah, because I asked her last night. I said, what are you looking for? She said good deals. I was like, that's all I need.
Yeah, that's the green light to buy everything.
Yeah, and then all I had to say is, well, you said it's a good deal.
Well, since we're on Prime Days, what's your number one item you're going after? Because we talked last time, and you said you didn't really know. You had a couple things you might look at, but just depending on how the prices and stuff were. So what's your number one item on the hit list on Prime Day for Joe?
For my part,
Okay. I'll make this even for Joe and Cena.
Okay.
That'll keep you out of trouble.
Okay. Well, Cena already got hers. She needed some new charging cables for her phone, so I scored a 2-pack of those. A good deal on those. And what I'm looking for is, of course, any cool gadget.
Right. Now, is this for you personally, or for your store, or for your business?
For the show.
Just for the show.
Yeah.
By golly. Okay.
And I have a new laptop on order, so I'm looking for a really good deal on SSDs or hard drives.
Gotcha. Okay. So, what are you thinking?
Well, so far I haven't found what I would call a good deal, so it's still looking.
So you don't really have your eye on something; you're just still searching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't sit there and monitor my computer all day. What I do is I cheat and look at the upcoming deals and see what time they're going to launch.
Right.
And then I'll go back on about 5 minutes before. So then once I find out if it's a good deal or not, I'll scroll through the next set of pages, say, okay, this next deal is at this time. I'll be back at this time, so I don't have to sit there all day and watch.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure. I kind of thought you might have your heart, the way you talked last week or the week prior, I thought you might have your heart set on something and you're just going to wait and see if it popped up, or if you're going to go out and just say, well, whatever looks interesting. So you're doing the whatever looks interesting.
Yeah, okay. That's the way I always hit Amazon on Prime Days and Black Friday. Cause
leaves your options open to buy more stuff. Is that
exactly.
What you're saying?
Well, Amazon's one of those, you just never know what you can find on there, and then you're scrolling through and all of a sudden, bang, there's this gadget. It's like, oh, I didn't know that existed, but I have to have it.
Gotta have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's get back on track here. So, Apple update.
All right. So, if you are a subscriber to the Apple TV Plus, there's a chance you might be getting a few extra months for free out of this. So Apple is giving away some of its TV Plus subscribers a few extra months of its streaming service free of charge. The company has been offering a free 1-year subscription to the service with the purchase of a new device since TV Plus launched last November. But now that those early users are set to reach their end of their initial free trial, Apple says it will add on as much as an extra 3 months.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. How come?
Let's see.
Just being nice, or are they trying to capture something, or is there a lag there before something else happens?
I think... Okay, yeah. According to TechCrunch, Apple says the extension is because the company knows everyone's still looking at a tough winter ahead filled with COVID-related restrictions.
There we go. Okay, so they're planning ahead.
Yeah.
Good strategy.
Yes, so it's one. Well, and think about it, Dave. Why? So, okay. And here's just pure speculation on my part.
Right.
Your fourth quarter earnings are going to be up at the end of December.
Yeah.
This year has been a mess, to say the very least, on hardware and software sales. Most of these, a big chunk of these people may just be in it for the whole free year subscription and justify, well, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So come the end of the year, December 1, when the free year ends, boop, out you go. So why not just keep dragging those along? So say, hey, look here how many subscribers we have.
Yeah.
So you can keep your numbers up, keep stockholders happy. So that's just my speculation. I could be completely off by this.
No. I mean, hey, everything's fiscal driven. That's why I asked. I was like, why would someone give 3 months away after they already did a big promotion like that?
Right.
It's probably in some way to retain some money, keep stockholders happy. There's an angle. There's always an angle.
Yeah, there's follow the money trail.
Yeah, there you go. Interesting. Okay. Anything else that goes with that update, or is that just... That's a small... I don't know. That's a category of people that subscribe to that. So
Yeah, so if you have Apple TV Plus, if you purchased an Apple device within the past year,
right,
and you got that service with your subscription, be on the lookout. You might be getting a little extra time on that as for the free part.
Nice. I don't have Apple, so
I don't either.
I won't benefit, but I'm sure there's some Apple users out there like, all right, I'll take 3 more months.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to cancel, but I'll take the 3 months.
Yeah. Okay, and then on the flip side, you also have an Android update.
Yes.
All kinds of stuff.
So
you're covering all bases today, Joe.
That's right. Trying to keep everybody happy.
Talking to everybody, so it doesn't matter what device you own. We got something for you. Joe has something for you today.
Although I can hear this one person has a flip phone just sitting there screaming at me, "You guys don't cover me!"
Yeah, why aren't you helping me out in my flip phone? I saw, it's weird. I saw a thing that said something about the new Razor coming out.
Yes.
Is that how? How? How?
So it's a smartphone, but it's got a foldable screen. It folds down to the size about the old razors, and then it flips up to about like the regular.
Just why, Joe? Just tell me why.
Because
is it a retro thing or a style thing, or is it just because they had a bunch of razors sitting around somewhere in China that they had to use?
No, it's because all these manufacturers, because nowadays it's hard to get that big ooh and all factor like they used to, so now a lot of these companies are trying to come up with solutions to problems that aren't really there.
Huh.
And their next big thing is foldable screens. Samsung tried it.
Well, yeah, I remember they had the phone that folded.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing folded,
yeah,
the screen.
And that's what Motorola's doing it, and they're hitting the nostalgia button of, hey, it's the Razor.
Right. But the Razor was a big deal.
Oh, I had one.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
And one of the guys that worked for us had one. And I always liked it because he'd snap it closed.
Yes.
And that snap was pretty gratifying.
Yes. Yeah, it's not the same nowadays. You get mad at somebody and you're going, trying to push that button and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told them, no, you just pushed a button.
Yeah. They don't even know how mad I was because it was just a button push.
Yeah. So, but the Razors now, I think they're like $1,200.
What?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Like for an original or like the new ones?
The new ones.
As much as a regular smartphone?
Yeah. Because it is a smartphone. Don't get me wrong, it is a smartphone that basically has two screens. You fold it down, it has a little screen just like the old Razors.
Right.
And then you flip it up, and then you've got your smartphone.
$1,200.
Yes.
I'm floored by that. That's craziness, Joe. Craziness.
Let me make sure I'm not speaking out of turn here.
I mean,
I'm looking them up here just to make sure.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, $1,000 starting out right here.
Oh, gosh. For a Razor.
Yes.
And people will probably buy it and like it because they're like, yeah.
Yeah, you got to check it out, David. Razor, R-A-Z-R. Just throw it into Google there and tell me what you think.
All right, I'm going to look it up. The Razor phone.
That's on sale. It's $500 off. So it was originally $1,500.
Holy cow. Yeah, $1,000, $1,400. Razor Gold. Well, the Samsung Galaxy Fold is $2,000.
Yeah, so the Razor looks like a steal.
Jeez.
And the Razors, already has basically an established market with people going, oh, I had a Razor, it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, and then there's one Razor here, the Razor 5G, $2,500. And the Razor Phone 2 gaming phone, which that's not the right Razor. That's craziness.
Although I do know one person that had a Razor and absolutely loved it, but I doubt very seriously I can convince him to get the new one. And that was my dad.
Yeah.
His company phone was a Motorola Razor, and that thing had went through the ringer. The front screen, he'd had it so long and it had been through so much that the front screen was cracked. You couldn't tell who was calling. He had to actually flip it up to see it. I mean, it was bad. And then when the company finally said, because I told him, I said, Dad, you've had that about 12 years. I think the contract's probably up. The company could probably get you a new one. Oh, but it still works.
Yeah.
So when they finally said, you have to get rid of this thing, they gave him an iPhone, and I took an entire evening showing him how to use an iPhone, and that was fun.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, because he was like, I don't need that. This one works.
Yeah.
And so once I finally showed him how to use it, he loved it.
Yep.
But it was just that learning curve of...
it's new. It's not familiar. I'm used to my routine. Yeah. Interesting. The Razor came out in 2004.
Really?
Yeah, 17 years ago.
That'd be about right, yeah.
Craziness. And I remember we had that whole conversation about texting. Here in our office.
Yes.
When texting was a thing. And we were all like, we're not going to text. That's what 12-year-old girls do, blah, blah, blah. Now that's the best thing ever.
Yes.
Because when we go in and out of school all the time, we can't take phone calls into school.
Yes.
But we can text.
Yes.
And, just craziness. Back in how we weren't going to text because that was crazy.
Right. Okay, now here's something else I'm going to throw at you. Cena and I watch The Office almost nightly.
Yeah, The Office is good stuff.
So... the one episode we was watching the other night, Michael went to one of the cell phone carriers to get a new plan, and they said something about who his 5 friends were for his My 5. Do you remember the My 5?
Yes.
I was like, Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's right.
completely forgot about the Mi-Fi.
Yeah,
Man. You had the Mi-Fi, and then you had the free unlimited calling on nights and weekends. So it was like nights after 7 o'clock and after 7 o'clock on Friday through 7 a.m. Monday morning, you had free time. It was crazy.
The Wild West of the cell phone days.
Yes.
Okay, well, anyway, I hijacked your Android update, so let's go back. I can see Cena saying in the background, boys, come on now. All right, anyway, Android update.
Okay, so this new Android update, it's kind of double-edged sword, to say the least, because there's some good benefits to it, and then there's kind of the creeper factor.
Gotcha.
So the new Android feature alerts you to smoke alarms and other quote-unquote critical sounds. So
hold on, explain yourself, Joseph.
Okay.
Like it automatically does it?
Uh-huh.
So it's listening all the time.
Uh-huh. Bingo.
Holy smokes.
Yep.
Why would they throw that out?
So Google has been adding the new accessibility features to its products lately, and last week's update is something for those who might want to help hearing things around them. Sound Notifications is rolling out to Android and Wear OS devices, and it'll use the microphone on your phone to listen for things like beeping appliances, running water, or barking dogs. Then it'll send you a push notification, vibration, or flash of light on your camera. So,
man,
yes,
tell me it's able to be turned off.
Well, so it means, like you said, the microphone is going to be on all the time.
Wow.
So there's two issues with that: privacy and then battery.
It's going to drain your battery. Yeah.
So this feature is not enabled by default. You have to actually go to the accessibility settings and to turn it on. And if you're okay with your phone being sitting there constantly listening in whatever environment you're in.
I mean, I could kind of see how that'd be useful if you're somewhere that might catch on fire with a high potential of that, but otherwise.
Well, I have a lady I used to work with that she was
if you're hard of hearing or deaf, I could see that.
Yeah,
okay, that makes more sense.
I didn't think about that. And I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense for in a case like that.
Yeah, because if you're deaf, then you're hard of hearing.
And I saw her make a post the other day, Dave, and this is something I literally never gave any thought to. She's legally deaf, but she reads lips.
Oh, yeah.
How can you read lips in a COVID world?
Yep.
It's something I never gave any thought, because she said she was trying to go to the bank and complete a transaction. Well, she couldn't read the teller's mouth. So she was getting frustrated and just made it 10 times worse. And it's like, I never gave that a thought.
Well, our preschool teachers talk about it, and then as from the idea of the preschoolers' kids can't read their facial expressions, and it messes up the communication. Because a lot of kids, especially younger ones like 2 and under, look straight at faces to determine the context of speech versus understanding or comprehending all the words coming out of someone's mouth. They'll look to see, is this good, bad, neutral, are they happy, are they unhappy, and they use that facial context to relate to their conversation, and that's a tough one right now with masks on. So some of our preschool teachers have the face shields with the covering, and that allows them to communicate a little better.
Yeah, that it's just little things like that I never thought of. And then I saw this, I was like, yeah, that's great. And then, oh wait, because I'm one of those. It's way too coincidental that you and I talk. Just for example, you and I talk about something, a product or a service or whatever. Then boom, just a little bit later.
Didn't you say you were cheating on your taxes? Is that what you were talking about?
Let me give you a number to my accountant. If that doesn't work, let me give you a number to one of the attorneys we work for. But we have a discussion on a product or a service, and then bam, there's Facebook or Twitter. You just
look up something on Amazon, and the ads start hitting you on Facebook.
Yes,
that's how closely knit it is.
Yes, so that's not coincidental. So that kind of creeps me out the way it is, and then so now you're wanting to listen to me all the time.
I just, if they want to listen to the conversations I have at it.
Well,
if you can handle daycare conversations, after school conversations, and then the conversations I have with my kids, your life is pretty rough if that's your deal.
Granted, there are a few situations where I, working with certain clients where,
privacy is an issue.
Privacy is important, but for the biggest majority of my day, if you think me working up quotes or
Yeah.
Cena and I talking about the ding dong that just got off the phone because they won't listen to what we tell them to.
They won't have a secondary backup, or what is it, secondary protocol, or
Yeah, Plan B.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, what's the
two-factor authentication.
Yeah, there you go. Or they don't do their backups for their business computers.
Yeah, after we've stood there and done everything but scream and hit them in the head with baseball bats.
I was gonna say, you might have had that conversation with me 1, 7, 10 times.
Yeah. Yeah, but I haven't gotten that call of Joe.
Well, I learned my lesson early. Just listen to what you're saying and go with your plan. It makes it so much simpler.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you can see here where our battery backup went bad, and the box right here where I'm pointing
Yes.
is a new battery backup you brought in for us this week. So earlier,
Yes, Cena.
late last week, I guess.
Yeah. It came in and Cena had to pick up Sadie, so she said, "Well, I'll just take it down." I said, "Well, that'd be perfect."
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Dave's been needing it anyway.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
said, there we go.
It's weird. I mean, our battery backups lasted in here for 5, 6 years, maybe longer. I don't even know where we got this
Which
battery
is good
backup.
because I've seen some of them just go within a year.
Yeah, I mean, this one was an old one we scavenged from somewhere else when we built this studio a couple years ago. And half of it went bad. And I was like, why is only half the stuff here working? And we came in to do a show one day. And anyway, so I did what all good people do. Joe, something's wrong. And you had the fix within a couple of days. So
Yeah, and which surprised me considering.
well,
COVID.
you're supposed to say, oh, yeah, normal, man. A couple of days, no worries.
Yeah. Before January, I could say that.
Yeah. But anyway, so new battery backup right here in this box. I'll point to it again. So again, if you need something, call Joe, Cena, A&M Digital Technologies. They'll fix you up. Now, if I could just talk you into hooking it up for me, Joe.
I know we might be able to work something out.
No, I talked to Justin. He's coming in when he does his shows tomorrow, and he's gonna, because you got to move this desk out of the way. This desk here. I'm on that camera now, so that's why I'm pointing.
Okay.
This desk has to be moved out, and then the big desk has to be moved out, and it's actually right down in this corner behind everything. So right in here, if you can see my hand up against the wall, for some reason, whoever designed this buried the battery backup right down in this corner. That would be me, by the way. me and Kale and 3 other high school kids were like, okay, Michaela, one of the Clarkson twins, or no, it's Caitlin actually, and that crew, Brianna Deal, we're all like, yeah, let's hook all this up. So we started hooking it all up, and I was like, man, this is a great place for a battery backup. It's out of the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's usually the person that put it there. It's usually the one that doesn't have to replace it.
I know. That's why I called Justin. Like, hey, Justin, next time you get a chance, man, just hook this up for me. He doesn't know where it's at, so
Oh,
he's like, yeah, no problem.
Justin, if you're listening, I'm sorry, and I will overrule Dave on this. Although he is the one signing your paycheck, so you may have to act cautiously. But please put that in a much easier accessible spot next time.
The hard part is that's where we routed all the wires to. That's what I'm saying. So now that the wires are routed there, that's where it is.
Yeah. So,
Which, I mean, this one shouldn't go bad for another couple, 3 or 4 years. So
yeah, don't say that.
it better not. Yeah, hopefully it won't.
Yeah, hopefully it won't. But I've seen them.
I mean, that's more business for you, but
Right. Well, I've seen just the right power spike. Just
yeah.
zapping
Well, speaking of which, power went off this morning.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah,
But
and
it didn't come out. It didn't go out our way though.
It went out here. And the power supplies in our patch offices, supplied by A&M Digital Technologies, worked wonderfully.
Perfect. Yeah, that's the only way we really know when stuff's not working. That's when
Yeah,
you know your
when
battery
you
backup's
need it,
dead.
yeah.
Is when the power goes off and your computer goes off with it.
Yeah.
I remember when I worked at the hospital. That's when we knew which ones went bad.
Right.
We didn't have to go test.
Yeah.
They called us.
They called right away. Hey, by the way, yeah, that's our microgreen farm computer does not have a battery backup, and it shut everything off, and you had to go and reset. It's just great timing. You came in and like, hey Joe, before we go to do radio, check out that computer.
Yeah, it
So,
worked out pretty good.
You had to reset everything. All right, anyway, back to the show. But anyway, we're super happy with A&M and your all's accessibility and quickness in getting stuff. So good. Luckily, we only do the show once a week, so it's not a high priority, but still got here pretty quick. So back to the news update. Roku,
Yes.
give us the news.
So Roku is teaming up with its largest competitor.
Ooh.
Yes.
Who's the largest competitor?
Amazon Fire TV.
Really?
Yes. So
And this is the 3rd or 4th time Roku's been in the news here lately.
I know Roku has been really cranking things up here lately, and it's just like constantly it's something big and it's something good.
Why would they team up with them? Well, finish your news and then I'll ask
so
questions.
here's why. The Roku channel, Roku's free streaming service that offers more than 100,000 ad-supported titles and 115 live TV channels, is now available on Amazon Fire TV. That Roku announced last week.
Are they just doing like a contract with them, or is this like Roku going to be bought by Amazon?
No, Roku makes hardware. Makes the Roku device.
Right, the little device, yeah. Yes.
Well, I want to say last year before, they created the Roku channel, which is similar to Pluto TV.
Right.
And in the beginning, it offered a lot of older TV shows and movies.
Yeah, I was interested in one of the channels. It was a 80s movies channel.
Yeah, that was on Pluto.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me about. Yeah.
So Roku started out slow with just offering some older TV shows and movies and stuff like that, and then as it gained popularity, they started growing a little bit more, and then they started offering free live channels. That's within the last few months. So now they're saying, hey, we can make money at this, so let's go ahead and bounce our channel over to our competitors, so now we can catch... Yeah, you may not buy the device from us, but yeah, we'll still make money off of you.
Really?
If you watch our content, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so hats off to Roku on this one that they're willing to open themselves up. I mean, why not? If someone is a diehard Amazon fan, oh, well, let's sign you up with our service, which is absolutely free, and then they may turn around and buy the device.
Yep.
Buy the device in the future.
Okay. Interesting. I have satellite TV, so I haven't watched TV for a while, though.
Winter's coming on, though.
Yeah, I know. When winter hits, we'll see. We're still in the midst of soccer season, 6 days a week, so...
Is that about to roll up? To finish up? Or?
Yeah, sectional will start next Monday.
Depending on what this weekend's...
color code map is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay, because, I mean, the counties that are in are pretty steady now, like Hurricane and that crew, they're a train wreck.
Of course, now it all depends on which map we look at.
Yeah, well, they make a special one just for sports.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled.
Our coat of many colors.
Yeah. Now, and we're here in Spencer and Roane County around. Roane County's taking a beating these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, especially the school. I mean, just particular schools and stuff. It's not countywide, it doesn't seem, but just particular schools really taking a hit.
So, interesting stuff. So, Roku might be making a heck of a good choice if it continues to go like this.
Exactly.
More people will be watching TV, that's for sure.
Exactly.
Sitting at home, yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. And you do Sling TV, is that right?
Well, we have Sling TV. That's our paid service.
Right.
But we also do have the Roku channel. And,
okay.
And there is some great content if you're really into older shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's Sold Cena on the channel, of course, it was free, so that was a big deal setter there. But Petticoat Junction, she loved Petticoat Junction. So, and I'd never watched it. It's one of those I heard Mom and Dad talk about when I was a kid. But that, yeah. So she said, let's watch it. I said, I watched it, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. It's an older show. It's a black and white show, which that doesn't really bother me.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm waiting for Stranger Things Season 4 to come out.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
Cena and I both are.
I'll go back to TV when that comes out.
Well, let me look and see when that is, because I'm anxious to know.
Yeah. Check it out for us, Joe.
Season 4 release date.
Don't enter any passwords, because they can see your screen.
That's all right.
No, it's glaring, but...
Okay. There's a possibility of April.
April?
Production started in February.
Oh, jeez.
But now you got to think COVID's messed with a lot of this. So.
Daggone COVID, because it was like August, November-ish. Now it's April.
Well, and it's kind of across. It's all over the place. This one website says April. One website says July. So,
oh geez,
who knows?
Yeah.
Of course, Netflix could play the hand of, hey, we just got this, and yeah, things are looking like they're turning bad. So let's just hurry up and push it out. So
yeah. Hard to tell.
Yeah.
And they like to do that too. They're very sketchy with information they release, what they leak. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it interesting though. That keeps their crowd.
It keeps everybody on their toes.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and there's another conversation I don't want to discuss on air that I want to talk to you about and see if you are aware of, but we'll discuss it off air.
Ah, okay.
It involves Netflix.
Ah.
Yeah.
Netflix. Okay. All right. Well.
It's one of those I didn't want to bring it in on the show because it could open up too big of a can.
Yeah.
And not a good thing.
I got you. All right. Well, stay tuned for next week, maybe.
Yeah, if you give the green light on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, so that's our updates. Let's talk about tip of the week then, because you don't have a product with you.
Yeah, I did. This week's tip of the week, since we're in the middle of Amazon Prime Day, couple days, whatever.
Yeah,
here's
Amazon
a few
Prime
tips
Days.
to make your shopping a little easier, a little safer, and a little extra protection on all this.
That's a great tip. Or what a great tip subject, I guess, because Amazon Prime, people spending online, that's a big deal right now.
Right.
So, yeah. All right. Help us out.
Okay, so first things first, be sure, as always, turn on two-factor authentication if you have not already.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a minor inconvenience, but the most your inconvenience you're going to get is about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I've bought 3 Prime deals already today. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning when they launched.
Nice.
And it's a minor inconvenience. Once you put that, lightning deal in your cart, you have 15 minutes to check out. I guarantee you, even on our slow frontier internet, I got through it within 30 seconds. So if you've got good internet, it's not a problem.
Right.
So the minor inconvenience is an added layer of security. So 1, two-factor authentication. 2, make sure you have your proper payment method in place. So make sure your credit cards are up to date and all that.
Right.
To speed up possibility of getting in on there. And 3, watch out for the Amazon scams. There are a lot of them floating around, and it's not and it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Prime Day. It's just Amazon's a big target, so people are trying to hit Amazon every which way they can.
Wait a minute. So, like shopping on Amazon, the actual site can be dangerous?
No. Well,
what kind of scam are you talking about?
Okay, so there's a few of them floating around. We've gotten phone calls every once in a while that says...
okay, so it's a call or an email.
Yeah, it's a robocall saying, this is Amazon confirming your purchase of... And the other day it was for Amazon Prime for $39.99, which we know wasn't right because it's over $100 a year, and ours renews not this time of year. So that was a red flag. And then... a lot of times they'll hit you with this is calling to confirm your purchase of a $1,200 digital SLR camera or some expensive item.
Yeah. And
please call Amazon back to confirm this is your purchase. Just enough to panic you going, I didn't order that $800 or $1,200 camera.
And then you call. And
you call and you get hit.
Yep.
And then there's another one that a friend of ours got, Miss Suzette Lowe. Do you know Suzette used to work at the library.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Miss Lowe from the library.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Suzette threw me.
Yeah.
It was always Miss Lowe.
Right. Yeah. When we was kids, it was Miss Lowe. Now that now that we're older and
I was going to say, speak for yourself. Haven't grown up yet.
Yeah. Well,
Cena can verify this for us.
Well, Cena and Suzette have become really close friends, and so Suzette made a post on Facebook the other day of, hey, I got this text, is this legit? And it was a text that said from Amazon,
oh gosh,
congratulations, you've won an iPad compliments of Amazon. Click the link below.
Yeah.
In the text message. So immediately I got on the keyboard, Suzette, don't click on it, don't do anything.
Don't follow.
And she said, I didn't. I said, just delete it. She said, already done.
Done.
Good. I said, good, perfect. So that threw a red flag up on me.
Yeah.
Amazon sells Kindle Fires, regular Kindles, their branded of products.
Right.
So why would Amazon, if they're going to do a giveaway, give away a competitor's product?
Yeah.
That was red flag number 1. And then number 2, if Amazon's going to send you something for free that you've won, they're just going to send you. They're not going to ask for confirmation. They already have your account information. I guarantee it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's always the first thing. They'll never contact you through those type of things, and they tell you that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So just a few extra steps just to make sure, and be careful with the email scams as well. Sometimes people post as Amazon doing the same thing of, here's your order confirmation for your whatever expensive device it is. check your order status now. So you'll freak out and click order status, and it takes you to some website that looks like Amazon's, but not quite Amazon.
Right.
And what it does is when it asks for your username and password, you put that in, you click submit. It takes you nowhere there because you actually just sent them
your stuff,
your login information. So if you get any of those weird emails, actually go to the Amazon site, log in, use your two-factor authentication, then check your order status and see if it actually showed up on your order queue. If it doesn't show up on your order queue, pretty good chance that you didn't buy it. You didn't get charged for it.
And that happens to me. I got a couple of emails, and I know one of them was, oh, your PayPal account's been restricted or updated, blah. And I'm like, no. PayPal doesn't email me ever.
Yeah.
It's, I always have to go to my PayPal app.
Yeah. Now, here's one more that I did not know was a possibility until my dad was telling me about it, and he read an article on it, and it is on your credit card statements. When you make your purchases, you didn't always have a phone number to call.
Yeah.
Now they're doing, if you have a fraudulent charge, don't call that number.
Yeah. Because
that phone number is a fraud number that goes with that fraud charge. So,
no way.
Yes, so it may say Amazon $435.28, and then the phone number associated with it. Well, you didn't make that you didn't buy that, so I'm going to call Amazon and dispute it. Well, that number
doesn't go there.
Doesn't go to Amazon. That goes to the scammers that made that charge, so it's hard to tell what other information you might be handing out as well.
Holy cow.
So in those type of situations, it's best to call the credit card company direct.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I didn't make this charge. What do I need to do? And if they say, well, you need to call the merchant, have them provide you the phone number. Or 9 times out of 10, they'll say, we'll handle it. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Just something to be cautious of.
Interesting. Man, well, that's a great tip, especially with Amazon Prime Days and with the holidays coming up. I think that's a tip that's a broad base.
Yes.
Use that for everything. Doesn't have to just be during Prime Days, which we're talking about now, but, any holiday, any time.
Online shopping in general, period.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, good call, Joe. I like it. Always helping people out, man. That's awesome. Okay. Is that the end of that tip?
That's the end of that tip.
By golly, well, you know what that means. How do they get a hold of you? If somebody has questions, they want to ask you about, your Amazon Prime Day deals that you're specifically looking at, like me, if they have an interest in your personal buying habits.
Right.
Oh, no, I'm joking. So if anybody has any questions about computers, phones, something they need fixed, looked at, whatever, how do they get a hold of you or Cena?
You give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Check out our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com, or check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We are at AM Digital Tech for all that. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review for Help Desk with Joe and Dave. We are on Apple Podcasts and now YouTube Podcasts. Not Google Podcast anymore.
How come?
Because that was that whole thing where YouTube was moving everything over. Yep. So
now it's YouTube Podcast.
Spotify and everywhere else you get your fine podcasts.
Cool.
And be sure to download the Patch Turned Up app. It is absolutely free, and you get news, information, and all kinds of family-friendly music with a vast library of music.
You know this from personal experience because most of it was yours. Well, Joe, you and Cena have always helped us out here at Patch and done a fantastic job, and kudos on all the community activities you're involved in. So, folks, remember, shop local, and that's one of the things. I looked up Amazon Prime Days while we were talking there, and that's one thing that I noticed, the shop local tab.
Yes.
And you guys also sell on Amazon, so
yes,
make sure to take advantage of that local shopping. That's important, especially now during COVID and stuff. Small businesses are struggling, so support them. If you're going to spend your dollars, support them local. That helps everybody out.
Yeah, and now we are, as far as I know, to my knowledge, we are not a featured small business, but Amazon is doing their part in helping small business. If you purchase from a featured small business on Amazon, Amazon is going to give you a $10 credit.
Oh, wow.
On your account for a future purchase.
Nice.
So Amazon's doing their part to help promote small businesses as well.
Well, that's awesome. Okay. Well, this is David and Joe, and you've been listening to Help Desk with Joe, and with always here with us, Joe McDonald, and Cena in the background doing all the heavy lifting with Patch Turned Up. So stay tuned in for more podcasts, news, and updates from our Patch students, our Patch community, and as always, community and children first here in Spencer with our Patch programs. And we'll be back next week for more Help Desk with Joe with product reviews, tips of the week, and, of course, news updates with what's new in the technology field. So thanks for joining us. Okay, well, thank you for tuning into our live broadcast. I see Mark Pauley.
Hello, Mark.
Yeah, Mark, listening in, says, good stuff, guys. And by that, I mean he's talking to you, Joe. I'm just the mediator here. I don't actually have any of the... I don't do any of the homework or any of that stuff, so that's all on Joe. So help desk with Joe.
Well, thanks, Mark.
Yeah. And so we'll be back next week with more, so thanks for tuning into our Facebook broadcast. And as always, this is David here at our Spencer location of our patch office and help desk with Joe. So show number 35. Man, we're just ticking off the milestones.
Yeah, it's going to be triple digits before we realize it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we're not even counting the previous 8 years. This is just...
True. This is
just podcast show 35.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got a big number going there, Joe. Okay. All right, well, thanks for joining in, everybody. We'll be back next week, and keep an eye on all our stuff that we do, and check out A&M Digital Technologies, one of our supporters here of our patch programs. And everybody have a great rest of the week, a great weekend.